Hello everyone, I'm Carson and welcome to Carson'sOGaugeTrains. This is episode 4, and today we're just going to be taking a look at some of the stuff I've worked on in the layout, just a little bits here and there. I know it doesn't look any different, besides the fact that there's a huge GG1 sitting next to me, but we'll get to that in a minute. And as you can see, I have a different perspective. That's because I'm experimenting with where I want the camera to be, and this, so far, I'm really liking as I'm filming this right now. The tripod right now is sitting on the desk I normally do my repairs on, and this is in the corner of the room where the locomotives are sitting and the signal light is, and where the whole layout is, essentially. So far I like it. It looks really, really good. I just like to say before I get started, I just like to say a big thank you to all of the comments I've been getting on some of my videos. I just really appreciate all the positive feedback and just comments in general. I just really appreciate all of them. And I'm so happy that I'm able to share the love of Lionel, the history, and my collection with y'all. It's a privilege, and I just am thankful. I'm thankful that I am able to share it with y'all. So let's get started with episode 4. I'm filming this today on the 4th of July, which, as you all know, is America's birthday, when we got freedom, independence from evil Britain. But I'm filming this on the 4th of July. I hope you all have a safe and happy 4th of July. And if you have any patriotic themed trains, such as the American Freedom Train or the Train Collectors Association U-36B passenger set, whatever you have, hope you have a commemorative train to run on your layout, because many railroads painted great paint schemes to celebrate America's birthday, and there's lots of them out there. So just wishing you all a happy and healthy and safe 4th of July from me. Now, getting into the layout, there's been a number of things that I worked on, as I've said. The first thing is, as you noticed in the corner with the crossing gates, you noticed a gate man. And now, I've had him ever since I started collecting Lionel in 2016. I got him originally, there was no man inside, and the armature needed some work and stuff like that, but eventually, well, with the reproduction gate man, let me back up a little bit. They didn't have the original gate man. We bought a reproduction one from a wonderful parts dealer at the Great Scale Train Show in Timonium, Maryland, and he had an arm, because with the 45N, I forget what year it was, but they redid the mold of the man. When he first came out, he was a crude compost type, but then they redid him in plastic. And with the crude compost type, both of his arms swung, and with the plastic type that Lionel came out with, only his right arm swung with the lantern attached to his hand. So we got that, and we had it working, and it had the pin in his arm, and it was like a little plastic pin, really, really tiny pin. And then one day it decided to fall out, and then, well, we lost the pin. I didn't lose it. Don't blame me. I didn't do it. And so he was sitting vacant and dormant on my layout for a long time, and I really love the Gate Man accessory. It's such an amazing engineered piece where he comes out and a little bulb in the, gate housing lights his lamp. So I decided to makeshift my own pin to fit in his arm with a little bit of brass rod and a, like a cap sort of thing to not make the brass rod fall out. And so far, it's been working like a charm, and I'm happy to have the Gate Man back in operation. So another thing working on behind the scenes was the 3656 corral platform. I did get to take a look at that, and I got that from the huge collection that I talked about in episode 3, and if you would like to check out episode 3, it should be popping up right somewhere in the right upper corner any moment. There it is. So I took a look at it, and yeah, that's right. Took a look at it and checked and whatever, grammar. checked and see whether it needed parts or not, and it actually does. It needs a new little rubber feet, and it's controlled by the vibrator technology, like I said in the past episode, that the 3435 aquarium car uses, and lots of other Lionel accessories that use the vibrator technology. And so, as you can see back behind me, it's sitting on the layout now, but there's little rubber feet that go between the platform, and it's two separate pieces. The platform lifts up, and then there's a bottom part to it too. But there's little rubber feet, and those rubber feet dried out, and now they're just plastic, and they're gone. If you move it, if you rub your fingers or like touch them, they just are poof, turn to dust because they were dried out in the sun. But I'll have to get parts for that and get it working sometime. Because, well, who knows. Another thing between episode 3 and 4 I fixed and worked on a little bit was the 1045 flagman. I got that in the huge collection I got from that lady in episode 3. And one evening when I was running trains, having a good time, the inside loop just decided to stop working completely. The ZW's breaker decided to pop on and tell me there was a short somewhere. So I checked all the wheels, checked the track, checked the wiring, checked everything. And turns out it was the 1045 contactor. Made no sense whatsoever. Because as soon as I took that thing off, the loop turned on and ran absolutely fine. So, and I thought it was broken for a little while. So I let it sit there and no train ran over the contactor, didn't, operate. Until just the past week I decided, oh, what the world, let's just connect it up and see if it works. I put it on the bottom test loop and I was just like, okay, and it worked. And I was like, what the hey? So I put it back on the layout and it's working fine now. So that was just boggling my mind a little bit. If there was one thing I completely forgot to mention in the past episode of Carson's O-Gauge Trains was I have added a fourth loop to the room. Now you may be thinking, well, it's not on the layout. I got 2 tracks and then I got a 027 loop in there. Well, where is your fourth loop? Well, it's on the floor. Yes, that's right, it's on the floor. And it's all wide radius 072 curves with 4-foot track sections and stuff. You may be asking me where I got all this stuff. Well, my mom's coworker said she had a loop of track in the basement from the old owner of their house, and that I would want it if they wanted me to come over and take it all down. So one day, I think it was in the winter, I think it was actually before the New Year. I think it was actually Christmas, I think. My dad and I went over and we took down all the wood shelving and stuff and all the track. And so I got a huge, good-sized collection of 072 curves and big 4-foot straight sections of track. Which I was like, oh boy, what am I going to do with these? I got no room on the layout for 072 curves because it's like six sections a curve or something like that. In the 4-foot sections of straight track I could use, but I kind of like hearing the sound of the clickety-clack. So I got looking around the room one day and I was like, wait a minute, if I move the desk out this way and I move that way and I move this way, and if I could squeeze that there, I'm like, oh, I could put a loop of track in my room. And so it happened. So the loop of track I have starts here next to the bookcase, runs underneath the desk, goes underneath my bed, which, mind you, that was the hardest part to put the track in because I had to move the bed and then it wasn't 100%. I couldn't move it out straight and I had to move it at angles and it was really hard there, but I did it somehow. Then it comes out underneath the bed, underneath my dresser, straight across where I walk in and out of my room, which if you're asking me how do I live with that, trust me, I've managed. I've had this thing for 6 or 7 months now, and I've been totally acquainted and accustomed to having a piece of track on my floor, and I don't even step on it. Continuing on, it goes underneath the layout, comes around, and back to the bookcase. And what I love about the floor loop I have is I can run long trains on it, I can run trains fast, and I can just also let them run. It's a lot of fun. But that is one thing I completely forgot to talk about in one of the old, episode 3 of Carson's O-Gauge. And I don't know why I got talking to it now. I had to make myself a list about all the different stuff I'm working on. So, yeah, it's definitely a fun loop, and I'll have to shoot some footage of it. If you're wondering about that flat car, I picked it up when I was out in Indiana for my senior trip. We were going to do it last year, but due to the pandemic, we weren't allowed to, go out and do stuff. But we figured that this year would be the year we could go out and take my senior trip. And it was a blast. We went and saw the South Shore Interurban Railroad. We saw the freight operations out there. We also went to Chesterton, and there were just different spots I wanted to go to ever since I was a kid. But we got to see the South Shore street running, which was amazing. And sadly, they're going to be tearing out the street running in the next couple of years due to the double tracking project that they're working on to increase the capacity of trains that are running. Whatever, I'm not going to get into the politics of that. But hey, I captured the street running footage, captured the street running, and it was a blast to be out there. But when I was out there, I visited the I Love Toy Train store, which is just near Michigan City, Indiana, and I got to meet Jeff, Cheryl, and Tom McComas from TM Books and Video. And I got to visit their store too, which it was just so neat to meet some people that I have adored since I was a kid and watched their videos over and over and over again, and really inspired me to start filming videos here and starting to collect O-Gauge trains post for Lionel. Well, that started out, but I picked up this 2411 pipe flat car from the I Love Toy Trains the store, and I was really impressed because, or not impressed, I would say I was very psyched about it because Tom was the one that checked me out, and I have the original invoice slip. But I picked that up at their store, and I was really excited and happy to meet Tom and Cheryl and Jeff, and to see their store, and to see where the videos were all made before. Well, as y'all may know, I've picked up this 8753 GG1. If you have not watched the review video, you should go check that out. I'll put a link right up here in the corner. There it is. But yes, I've also picked up this 8753 GG1 when I was out in Indiana. And I was very shocked and surprised about this beast here. It was new in box. I picked it up for a really, really good deal. It was only made in 1977, and I'm just very impressed with this being an MPC product. I'm not putting MPC products down. I love their products, but for this being one of the first big, what would I say, post reissue collectibles that I was able to pick up, I am highly impressed with it. There's good motors, and it's smooth running, good detail and paint and everything. Well, I said that in the video as well, but it's true. It's a beautiful engine. It runs great. It's absolutely incredible. Although what's funny is when I run around the track, I kind of get scared in this back corner here when I have it sort of halfway throttle. The thing just whips around the layout like it's nothing. It also separates the track because the track isn't fastened down yet. But I picked this up, brand new in box, and it's just incredible, and I'm so happy to have it in my collection, and very blessed too. And also, make sure to check out the review video. And I think the last thing that I worked on, I believe, I'm working on putting different feeder wires in corners. So I have feeder wires in this corner where the signal light is. I got feeder wires where the gate man is in that corner. And I've always had feeder wires on the corner where the transformers are, and in the corner where the beacon tower is. But since I've added new feeder wires in this corner here, I can run the trains nice and slow all the way around. And you might be asking me why it's such an accomplishment, because I didn't have it for the longest time. This layout's a year old now, and I didn't put it in for the longest time, and I'd have to run the trains really fast around the layout. But so far, I think that's everything. I think that's everything that I've been working on. So let's see some trains run. all, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate y'all stopping on by and taking a look at the video. And if you have any questions, comments, and concerns, be sure to pop them down below in the comment section. And if you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if not, that's okay. I'm just really happy to be sharing my Lionel collection with you, my layout, and to all be sharing the wonderful history and love for Lionel trains. So until next time, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day and the rest of your week, and I will see you next time in the next video. So, this is Carson from Carson'sOGaugeTrains, signing off. See you later.
Lionel, Lionel, the greatest little railroad in the world.